Good afternoon, everyone. This video is brought to you by TrueLeafMarket.com, heirloom and organic seeds for any grow zone on our planet. Cosmic ray situation worsening. A plethora of new articles talking about cosmic rays and having greater impact on Earth's climate. And they just keep on increasing year upon year. Atmospheric compression event over Brazil. Huge snowfall totals, Eastern Europe extending all the way to the UK and down into North Africa. Record snows on the way to Japan and Korea. 2-meter temperature anomaly. Asia looks incredibly cold. Over North America, temperature anomalies. And I thought, where have I seen this matchup once before? Oh, Maunder minimum temperature reconstruction. And while you're watching the video, please remember to subscribe to Adapt 2030 and click that bell so you can get the latest updates. And as of late, there's been an enormous amount of articles, peer-reviewed as well as opinion pieces coming out in science publications talking about worsening galactic cosmic ray situations. Newest measurements coming out from Cosmic Ray Telescope for the effects of radiation, otherwise known as crater, showing that cosmic radiation is increasing far faster than even what would be considered above normal forecasts. Just stratospheric radiation in California coming out 13%. In the Northeast U.S., it's even higher than that, 14 to 17% in some places. Look at Carlos Ramirez's work here. As you can see, cosmic radiation just year after year, 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and it is going to continue to increase. Straight off the charts. And this chart here should be a great way for you to forecast as we go out. Remember, when I started my channel with 2015 to 2035 as the grand solar minimum, the very beginning of it would be 2015. And we started to see the ramp up in weather. And as we get toward that 2024 period, that's when we're going to reach the strongest weather anomalies. So it'll be like a sine wave, if you will, of beginning intensity ramping up, and we'll reach that max point, and then we'll decrease it and taper off again. But in the interim, here's where we go. First cycle up to 2021, you can see the increases in intensity. The farther the wave splits, the more intense our weather shall be. This will also be influenced by different types of cosmic rays, inducing clouds, volcanic eruptions on our planet. This is a great example of what an atmospheric compression event is here. Going to bring you down to Brazil, Paraguay, Uruguay area on the map. This dark pink is nothing less than a river from the sky opening up and dumping. They called it an anomalous weather event. It's not supposed to be raining that much at this time anyway. But the streets in Horizonte, incredible floods everywhere, floating cars. Look from the air, stadium filling. Look at street conditions. Obviously, you know how big a bus is. And the drainage system just couldn't cope. You know, our modern infrastructure is at the very edge of being able to cope with what's coming with the intensifications of the cold, the snowfall, the hail events, the wind events, and all these things associated with more cosmic rays, intensifying grand solar minimum, especially electrical grids that are not hardened for the cold. Understand, the electrical grids and the transmission lines in Alaska and northern Russia are designed far differently than they would be down somewhere in the southern United States or southern Asia, for example. Let's talk about cosmic rays for a second. Fourth nor'easter on the way to the U.S., but it might be blocked by cold. Nonetheless, this is anomalous that they would have this many stacking on top of each other. So something in the atmosphere has definitely changed, and it's not due to CO2. It's due to our weakening magnetosphere and our jet streams slipping out of pattern, bringing out-of-season storms, which again and again have been talked about from the Maunder minimum, the Oort minimum, the Dalton minimum, the Sporer minimum, the late antique little ice age. It is a pattern that happens every single time. And through the next 4 days, massive snows in Eastern Europe, extending all the way over to the UK, including Ireland, which is going to see some below zero temperatures, along with not just the Atlas Mountains down in Morocco, but that northern African area might even see second, third snowfall this year in the Sahara Desert. And then we jump over to what's going to be absolutely record snows in Japan over these next few days, and eastern coast of Korea. And the media is just not connecting the dots. We have 7 times greater impact on our climate than models suggest for the galactic cosmic rays, and in this grand solar minimum, it's a 400-year cycle, not an 11-year solar cycle. So the intensity and the bombardment of galactic cosmic rays, not just from our sun, but from the actual universe itself, from supernovae that have exploded in past, we're getting both sources, and our magnetosphere is weak, so we're getting everything at the same time on the planet. Let's take a look here at the 15-day 2-meter anomaly. These are basically ground temperatures. The anomaly is how far from the departure of normal it is. Blue is colder, red is warmer. And as you can see, the predominant cold pattern will be over Asia. This brings us back to the collapse of the Chinese dynasties as the temperatures cooled, and we start to see this same repeat right there. This is a long-term forecast going out another whole month, but it still shows 2-meter, this is basically ground temperature anomalies, cooler over 3/4 of the U.S., extending far into Canada through Hudson Bay and up. Then I found a really interesting one here. It brings us out to March 22nd as I was diving through on some of the Twitter feeds. And you know what? I said, I have seen this pattern before. It was very recognizable, where it's warmer over Alaska, warmer under Greenland, and then cooler across North America from Canada, extending down into, say, somewhere around South Carolina. I said, where have I seen that? Sure enough, Maunder minimum. This is the temperature reconstruction map that you can find with just a simple search engine. Now let's put them side by side and see if you see any matching. And then take a look at the area over Asia, and I'll bring you over to the 15-day 2-meter anomaly. Do you see any matches over Asia? It is a cycle, and it's forecastable, and we know the effects. Loss of our grain production globally, which you are going to have to absolutely start growing some of your own food. You can see the intensive changes are here. It's no longer head in the sand. You're going to have to deal with this.